So to kick us off today, we have Maj delivering kind of a state of Rust address for us.
This is why we do like, welcoming and all of that, because then you get more useful things. The Pentecost Katoa, Mahajime Dancy Tagoima. I'm Maj Dancy and I'm one of the organizers, and we definitely couldn't have done this without Jenny. Who's called Please Big Round. Big Round. And making sure that this happens and it's yes, and keeping me on track with all of the lovely changes that are coming in the science system and using. We're here. Welcome to the Australasian Myrtle Conference. Now, as we know, we are all very interested in Australasian, which is the ultimate globe-trotting pathogen. And as we know, that they came to Australia in 2010 and then hopped over the ditch and came here in 2017. And at that stage, so this is maybe 6 months or so after it was first found in New Zealand. This was the distribution of the pathogen in New Zealand, and most of the observations of the pathogen were in gardens or in garden trees, in urban settings. And there was one observation in the wild. And actually, I remember Maria talking to me and saying that, hey, yes, there is definitely, it has been confirmed that there is one observation in the wild, in the bush, in the Taranaki. And it was in that space that we started thinking about, what do we do next? We know that myrtle rust has never been eradicated from any country, but can we change the disease trajectory? And that's the thought that we had in our head when we started to put together the proposal, and then it ultimately was funded. So Beyond Myrtle Rust was a ministry for business, innovation, and employment endeavor grant that was funded from 2018 to about 2024. And we had a collaborative idea in our heads when we started to put this together. And it was based around these research questions of that, how's the pathogen adapting to New Zealand? And this was work led by Sion as well as University of Queensland. How does the pathogen affect New Zealand ecosystems? And that was mainly led by Manaka Whenua, but also with help from University of Auckland, Unitech, and Plant and Food Research. And then we had, how do we mitigate the pathogen? So that was led by Plant and Food Research, also with input from Lincoln Agritech, as well as University of Canterbury. And then how can we enhance cardiac and marine solutions in this pathogen affected ecosystem? And that was led by Plant and Food Research. So that was a co-pilot over the 5 years that the program was doing. And it was, again, as I say, very collaborative. It was just going to definitely help us when we move into our new system. During that time, we had the first Australasian Myrtle Rust Conference, and thank you, Perry, for organizing that. And it was amazing because there were 100 scientists and 2 days of amazing talks and workshops about what do we do next and what are our steps forward. And the consensus was that these were some of the things that we would do. We needed to think about resistance breeding, ecosystem restoration, seed banking, RNAi, and monitoring. And it was really, really good to see that there were so many people involved. And this is not just Australia and New Zealand. It is a worldwide community, because when you look at what's been done over the last 15 years or so, there have been over 1,000 articles that have been published on the research all over the world So there's a lot of people who are really heavily invested in it. When you think about that, with those 1,000+ articles, that's a lot of money that's going to put into this pathogen and into this disease. And so we're making progress, we're making huge progress, but there's still lots of stuff to do. So our main challenges is that funding. We always have to think about funding. How do we maintain the funding and make sure that we continue on with this research? As Jenny mentioned, like a lot of the big programs are ending. The Myrtle is ended, Jobs to Nature is ending. You know, there's less and less money. So we need to make those, as administrations like to say, make those dollars work harder for us. So we need to think about how we can be proactive and also agile in this new shifting environment to make sure that these studies are funded and that we do change the disease trajectory. And we need to stay connected. And so for that, we have our lovely second Australasian Myrtle conference. And so welcome to everyone. Thank you all for traveling over here. Tēnā koutou, Papua.